So you've learned about POJOs. Now let me teach you about Java Beans. So Java Bean is a class that has to obey 3 contracts so that other frameworks can do certain things with it. So let me first explain 3 things that a Java Bean has to have. So number 1 is that a class must have a no-arg constructor. So here you've learned about constructors. So this is a no-arg constructor. So a class must have this. Also, a class, all the properties. So for example, a car, we might have string, reg, number. We might also have, let's just say big decimal and then price, for example. So you can see that we have fields in here. So 2 fields. Now, in order to be a Java Bean, so all of these fields, they must be private. So this must be private and this also must be private. And the way that we can access these private fields right here, or properties, is through getters and setters. And you've learned about getters and setters. So here, if I generate getters and setters, so you can see that now it's becoming a Java Bean. So almost the same as a POJO, but hold on. Now, the other thing here is that this class should implement serializable. Now, you haven't learned about this keyword in here, and later on you'll learn about this in here and also interfaces. But if I basically select this class, so let me go into serializable, and basically this is an interface with no methods in here. And if I scroll up, I just want you to see that what it says in here. So all the way up. So let me just go up. So serializability of a class is enabled by the class implementing Java IO interface. Now, if I scroll down, you can see that they talk about basically, let's have a look. So classes that require special handling during serialization and deserialization process must implement special methods, so on and so forth. But basically, any class, so if I go back to car, any class that implements serializable, all it means is that this class can be stored to disk or to a file, so on and so forth. All it means is that objects can be written to streams. And when I mean streams, I mean, for example, files, databases, and pretty much anything. And if you observe correctly, I said that a POJO cannot implement anything. So this is not a POJO. So this is now a bean. So this is a Java bean. So you'll see basically when you start to use frameworks such as Spring Boot that they use the term bean. And basically it's because of this, because you have a class that basically is dependent on a framework. And for example, you learn about this annotation right here. So entity. So there's an annotation called entity. Oops, can't type today. Just like that. So basically, I don't have it on my class path. But basically, as soon as you annotate this class with entity, then this class right here has special powers. So you can turn this class into a table, for example, in your database, where these fields right here can be columns in its corresponding table. So we're not going to do much with Java Beans for now, but I just want you to pretty much just understand and learn the difference between a Java Bean and POJOs. And really, a Java Bean allows library to programmatically do things with classes instances that we define by basically following the contract. So they have to have a public constructor, a no-arg constructor. The fields must be private and accessed through getters and setters. So if you want to access, you can basically use a getter. If you want to set, you can use the setter, so i.e. changing these fields in here. And finally, it must implement serializable. So this is the definition of a Java Bean. As I said, we're not going to do much for now with Java Beans, but I just want you to understand the differences. If you have any questions, drop me a message. Otherwise, let's move on.